It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hour is part of the family of the shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans. And this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar today, we're at the fabulous Wayfare on Ferret Street, where they have a 3-hour happy hour here every weekday from 3 till 6 p.m.
And brunch on the weekends.
And Grayson Jernigan is standing right in front of the board. So there it is. Thank you very much. They have a happy hour here every day from 3 to 6 with half-price drinks and half-price starters and bar fare. Thanks, Grayson. That's perfect.
Try the Brussels sprouts.
And if you want to know, the Brussels sprouts are excellent. And if you want to know exactly where we are, we're across the street from the European Wax Centre.
That's right.
On Ferret Street. And
they get such plugs for not,
I love the European Wax Centre. Depends on what table we sit at here at Happy Hour, depending on what I can see out the window when I look up. And when I sit on this side of the place, I can see the European Wax Centre, which is not just European, but also a wax centre.
Absolutely.
Johnette Downing is here. Johnette, have you ever had anything waxed off you?
No.
Today is the day.
Congratulations.
We all chipped in and we bought you a
Not yet.
$5 gift certificate.
It's just eyebrows.
We're actually
exciting.
We're actually taking this thing across the street.
Andrew Duhon is back from his travels.
Good to see you again, buddy.
Nice to see you again across the table. Thomas Mattera is here, 6 foot what?
4.
6'4", tallest person we've ever had on Happy Hour.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Well, that's a fantastic distinction.
Apart from the
not much else to
6'5"
offer,
guy.
which is why it's going to be difficult for me on
come up
a
with
podcast,
anything.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll try.
I can tell everybody something about you. You've been here for 7 years in New Orleans. You've biked across the country twice on a bicycle.
That is correct.
And you've lived in Nepal.
I have.
That's a pretty
All
good
those
start,
things are
right there.
good. But mostly I'm freakishly tall.
And
That's
freakishly tall.
80% of it.
You must have been the tallest person in Nepal when you were there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There were stairs. And on the bicycle rides, I was very popular, mostly because riding a bicycle behind me is a fantastic experience.
Because you're a huge...
Because I'm like a billboard, you know?
So
because if I'm there, there's a lot of wind coming at me, and you just hunker down, and you're just you're flying.
Who was riding behind you?
Well, all manner of people. There were 30 of us.
You went across the country twice with 30 people?
Yes.
So that's 60 in all, or the same 30?
60 in all.
Wow. So you're the only constant, and the other 29 were all different?
Yes.
So you found 29 other people,
Twice.
crazy enough, twice to bike across the country.
Well, I decided that after I finished it the first time that, I'll go ahead and do it again.
Did you go the same way?
Well, east to west, yes.
So you did? So you didn't bike back?
I did not the exact same route. So I did Jacksonville to San Francisco. Well, we did Jacksonville to San Francisco.
Oh, could you only imagine?
And then we did Boston to Santa Barbara.
Cool.
Wow.
How long does it take?
So it was about 2.5 months
Yeah.
for each trip. And we stopped to help out with Habitat for Humanity houses along the way. And also stopped to, sample the local bars in every town, because that's a huge part of the cultural experience.
That sounds like a
Naturally.
great gig.
Yeah, get dehydrated and then throw back a few.
It was a lot of fun.
If it wasn't for the bicycle idea, that would be awesome. If you were in a car.
It was just, driving across the country
or
drinking.
even on a motorbike would be great. Chris Klein is here as well.
How are
Chris,
you?
hi,
Good
I'm glad
afternoon.
you've made it on Happy Hour finally. We've been talking about you for years.
I did. I'm here on Happy Hour. I'm not drinking. It's not that fun.
It's not that happy.
I know. I was telling everybody I gave
It
up
feels
drinking
like it's
for
been
Lent.
an hour already. Yeah. Well, I told you already, Lent has been postponed.
No, cornbread is okay. Corned beef.
Cornbread is fine. Corned beef is okay according to the Archbishop of New Orleans, or the diocese, whatever that's called here.
I think the Archdiocese of New Orleans.
The Archdiocese of New Orleans, not the Archbishop
is
of
cleared
Yes.
Corned beef. Yeah,
Corned
for
beef
Friday.
because it's St. Patrick's Day.
Cornbread's good, but St. Patrick's Day this Friday. You're not supposed to eat meat.
Right.
We're
But it's
getting
okay if you're in New Orleans because
We have to.
No, that's just bullshit, though, frankly, isn't it? I'm not a Catholic,
I think so.
I should say that.
Yeah.
Isn't
Well,
it? If you're
I
gonna-
nailed my hands for this, is what Jesus is saying,
I'm a recovering Catholic, so I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Okay, so what side are you
Just
on?
trying to get
And I'm
through
actually a
life.
recovering corned beef addict, so it's kind of insensitive.
So it's good
the
for
whole
everybody.
thing, but,
Okay, I think it's ridiculous to have a religious holiday and then to have the head of the church say you don't have to worry about it.
Don't
because-
worry about it.
Bend the
because
rules.
What is St. Patrick's Day? Who was St. Patrick?
Nobody even knows. I think it's a Hallmark thing. Or is that
Oh,
Valentine's?
it's like Valentine's Day?
Right. I
Are
think
you
they're
kidding?
becoming
It
the
wasn't
same.
even
No
a real
idea.
St. Patrick.
Grayson
What
looks like
about-
he knows.
What
That's
about
fake.
Saint?
I'm sure there was a St. Patrick. I just don't know.
I think St. Patrick got all the rats out of Ireland or something, didn't
Yeah,
he?
that sounds right. Yeah.
Is
With
that
a
right?
flute, right? With a flute.
Johnette Downing, you're an
Yeah,
expert
somebody
on
else, Pied
children's tales. In fact,
in Ireland?
Don't they call you the Pied Piper?
Yes.
Or didn't the Pied
Really?
Piper get rid of rats?
Segue.
So you
Yeah.
ought to know something about St. Patrick, surely. If he did, in fact, get all the rats out of Ireland, which
I don't
I
know.
know that there's people cringing.
Well, I do
now.
play flute, and oftentimes
Oh.
it attracts rats.
Yeah.
Is that right?
In the French Corner.
What frequency
Everything
are you
attracts rats in the
Really?
French
Yeah,
Quarter.
yeah, exactly. I think it's actually the food, but they're there.
Did you
Yeah.
bring? You
To
didn't
support.
bring your flute here, though. What did you bring with you?
I brought a harmonica just in case of emergencies.
Get
you
the
know.
harmonica out now and see if we can get any
Get
rats.
that emergency harmonica out.
Can you make the same tone on the harmonica
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
make on a flute?
All right, this is pretty ratty right here.
This would be awesome if a rat showed up.
Several.
Right here. I'm
Well,
sure
really,
they don't have
that's what
rats at
Wayfare wants-
Wayfare.
that's what
No, I
Wayfare
just
wants to
gonna
hear you say
thank
on
you,
this
Thomas,
podcast.
yes.
Everybody that works here's eyes just lit up. I just saw it. Oh, wait, no,
I
it would
saw
be
a
awesome.
rat. I've seen a rat at.
That's called the rat.
Oh my
march
God,
right there.
they're everywhere.
That's the
They're
rat.
everywhere.
march.
Look, here's Noah right here. He works here.
Oh, we're in
like an
trouble
emergency.
now.
What was that piece you were just playing?
That was just a quick.
just made it
I
up?
just made it up.
I like that. Do a bit more of that.
I can
Oh,
possibly.
you put it away already?
Oh, it's just
like
right
an
here. It's
emergency.
too
Keep it
small.
out. You never know when we might need that.
Wow.
That's nice. Okay.
So I was walking down this road. Came up on this lady in a dark alley. She looked like she needed a hand, so I asked her for the time and she needed assistance. She started to cry and say that her man had been taken away from her. I felt terrible for her, so I offered her a ride to Frenchman Street on my giant rat. We took a rat ride.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, free the rats.
Rat ride, ladies and
First,
gentlemen.
first
Rat
collaboration
rats.
between
Very nice.
Chris
Rat
Klein
ride.
and Andrew Duhon. Very nice, you guys.
That's how we do
And
it.
that
out
wasn't
here.
even rehearsed at all.
I was
Nothing
trying
is
to,
rehearsed in New Orleans.
I sent him the chart.
Very nice.
I
Yes.
was trying to think of sound effects and I couldn't. It was so good. It was just
So
listening.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Chris plays
Don't
everything.
mess with that.
You
Oh,
play
yeah, yeah.
everything. You're a
Following Streisand, I'm not going to get
multi-instrumentalist.
in there.
What
play
are
music.
some of the instruments you play?
I play harmonica, I play flute, saxophones, I sing, play a little piano, write a little bit of music, that sort of stuff.
Do you play the guitar as well?
I don't play the guitar. I'm not really good with the strings. I guess.
Mostly wind instruments.
Wind instruments, woodwind.
What's your favorite band you're in?
My own,
Yeah.
of course.
What's that one
right.
called?
It's called the Boulevards. Chris
Sweet.
Klein and the Boulevards, and that's kind of my project. And I get to show off all those instruments in it. So I would say that's my favorite because nobody tells me to shut up in that one.
Yeah.
Shut up. Have you ever seen the video stuff that Chris has done, these videos online here?
I have not. Tell me about it.
I don't like to throw this word around too often, but that is pretty genius stuff, I have to
Oh
say.
shucks, man! You
I mean,
watched it?
it's the word stuff I was talking about. I don't like to throw around.
It's funny because there's about 57 people have watched it, and now
Yeah.
you're 58. This is
I
good.
guess I was 58.
I can't believe it.
How do you know I was 58?
I wish
could
they
have
wouldn't
been-
put those counters in. They
I
just
could have
make
been-
you feel
Yeah,
so
right.
small.
I know.
The two people listening are going to be 59 and 60.
Yeah, really? I mean, come
No,
on.
it is sad. I
I
agree
like
with
doing
you.
film. I like doing film, and I'm actually doing something. I like doing projects and coming up with interesting things and different ideas. And right now, it's funny we were talking about Frenchman Street. I mean, I'm just going to announce it right here for the first time. I have a show coming up, an art show. I'm trying to devise all of my artwork in, and it is called Reflections in the Tide Pools of Frenchmen.
Do I have to write that down?
You have to write that down.
really
Everyone writes this down, please. Reflections in the Tide Pools of Frenchmen. Now, what this is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Frenchmen and what's going on for the last couple of years, but there has been a puddle on every possible area of Frenchman Street for about 5 years, and it's never dried up. It is a living organism, and this puddle it has life, and I've been fascinated with it. I'm a little weird, so I started taking pictures of it. And now I'm watching these huge puddles. They've grown, they've moved. Some are milky, some are clear, some have algae. It's fantastic. So I've taken a bunch of these pictures, and here's the real. I don't like to throw this around, but not that great of an idea. But I just turned them upside down.
Okay.
So what you see is the reflection of the building
reflection,
right
yeah.
side
I
up,
love it.
and then it just appears to go away into nothingness.
Yeah.
That nothingness is a street. It tricks your eyes, but
Yeah.
I've taken about 50 pictures of buildings in the dirty water.
Wow.
And I think I'm going to do a little
What
show.
I really
The
like is
sound you
that
just heard is everyone's mind being blown at this ball right now.
I
That's
like
what
that
you just
the
heard out there, people.
I like that the title of the exhibit sounds like this writer's attempt to come up with something clever, but it's literal. You know,
Oh,
it's really just
absolutely.
reflections in the tide pool of Frenchman Street.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Great.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's a description of what it is in a long, pretty sentence, I guess you could call it. But
Yeah.
that is it.
You could add the word inverted in there somewhere.
I don't want to give it away, though.
You
I
don't
want
wanna-
people.
you wanna
Well, of
figure
course
it
I just
out?
gave it away, but if you see it, I
No
want
one
you
listens to this anymore.
Okay, good. And
You're
if
safe.
people just remember stuff for like 10 minutes anyway. So eventually, I'd like people to, at the first glance, see this and go,
Yeah.
oh.
Don't recognize it as a puddle just away.
I
just
think
right
it's
away.
upside down. Huh?
Yeah.
Is that upside down, or is it just me?
Are you making a book out of this?
No, I'm probably going to do like about 30 pictures and just print them, you know, and not put them online so people can steal them, but actually print them and see if any idiot buys them. I mean, any good purveyor of artwork.
Step right up, folks.
Where could idiots buy them at?
I think I'm going to do them at my gigs, you know, kind of
Okay.
a combination 2 in 1.
Yeah,
you have
there
to
we go.
come see me play
Right.
if you
To
want to
get one
buy
of
them.
these photos.
One of
Or
a kind.
vice versa. If you want to see me play, you might want to look at these as well.
So you
'cause they'll be on
spend a
the
bit
wall.
of time down on Frenchman Street by the sound of it. If you've got
I do.
lonely and sad and drunk enough to be staring
I
at the
do.
puddles.
I do. No,
At the end of the
sometimes I
night.
just get there early. You know, I can say that. But definitely lonely and sad, puddle looking is something I do.
Right, this is your coffee over here, by the way.
Oh,
Given
my
it's
goodness.
Lent and you've quit drinking.
All
Oh,
right,
by the
here
way,
we
if
go.
you've come
Bottoms
here
up.
today, I should say, if you're watching this live on Facebook or you're here at Wayfare to meet Brian Ferry, bad news about that. Brian Ferry has decided he's not coming to join us today.
Oh, Brian. Brian.
He's resting his voice,
Oh, Brian.
which is fair enough.
Yeah, I
what you
guess
think?
so.
I mean, after all,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be a singer, not come down here and waste his time talking to us. But you never
More
know.
of this.
Somebody from the Brian Ferry organization might show up, is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But I have no reason to believe that.
And they can have his cocktails.
Yeah, they can have his drinks. I don't know if he. I guess
Or
he drinks.
mocktails.
It's a
That's
shame
right.
because he is,
I have to
a
say.
seminal
Cocktails
figure in
and
rock
mocktails
history.
over here at Wayfare.
It would have been fun to meet him, wouldn't it?
Yes.
He's the inventor of glam rock, after all. He's one of
Yeah.
the 100 most important rock musicians in the world, according to Rolling Stone magazine.
And then more of this.
So-
That's one of his songs. More of this.
More of this.
And then
Avalon.
Love is a Drug.
Love is the drug I'm thinking of. Avalon, that great album.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We're all excited about meeting him. But
I know.
so one
remember-
of you guys is going to have to play the part of. What about this guy
The
over
cool,
here?
suave dude
Yeah.
that's been around the
So he
world.
wants to play the part of
Played
Brian
for
Ferry.
thousands for 20
He's
years.
English, isn't he English?
No, Brian Ferry's
Yes,
English. This guy
English.
is from Ithaca,
Okay.
New York. He's a
Oh.
physicist who's in town for a conference.
That's
Wow.
not going to work.
Should I?
for the Brian
Should we
thing.
ask him?
Wow.
From
I mean,
Who
if
would
you,
know?
if you
I
want.
was hoping
If
you
he
were.
can play the part
He'll
of
play the part of Brian Ferry. Like on Broadway, the part of Brian Ferry today was played by something like
His
that.
understudy.
He's not a physicist. He's an engineer. Actually, at a
I was saying,
physicist
how much of that was
conference.
made up that you just assigned?
That's all true, right?
What percentage
Did you
of
hear
that?
it? Come
What
over here.
percentage of that was made up?
Yeah. Come in.
Are you really a physicist?
Absolutely
No,
not.
he's not a physicist. Come over here
Yeah,
and talk.
He's a trapeze artist
Grab this
from
mic.
Cleveland.
Okay, could you pull that up? I know you're. Okay, I talked to you earlier, right?
Right.
What did you didn't tell me your name? What's your name?
My name's Andy. I said there are
What's your name? Sandy?
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah, and there
Okay.
are 10,000 people in New Orleans for a physics meeting,
See,
Wow.
hello.
and I'm one of them.
Very
Nice.
So there were 29 other people who biked across the country with Thomas Mattera.
That's true. Were you one?
So you're kind of in the
Maybe.
same boat with
Would you like to be?
9,999 other people at
Bike,
the
I
physics
wish I could
convention.
bike across the country.
Oh, you can.
I biked across New Orleans, or
Very nice.
part of it.
Did you get here today?
I did.
You're on a
From like
bicycle?
I am. I'm on a
Pass.
bicycle.
Really?
Can you pass some
Where did you get the
tide
bike
pools,
from?
I'm
From the
sure.
Airbnb hostess.
Oh, you took it from the Airbnb, or it comes with it?
It came with it, a cheap bike.
So
Cheap,
what's the
lousy
physics
bike.
conference about, actually?
It's everything in physics. It's 10,000 people. There are 10,000 talks this week, and one of them is mine.
What are you
Nice.
talking
What are you
about?
talking? Yeah.
I'm going to talk in part about bicycles, actually.
No shit.
What?
Come on.
Yeah, really.
People say God's not
What are the
real.
chances?
What are the odds?
You got the
let's
right
get in
guy
there.
right
yeah,
here.
let's get in there.
6'4".
What are you talking about bicycle-wise?
How they balance themselves.
Huh. Yeah.
Wow.
Do
'Cause I
they?
have no idea how they balance.
That's
In
awesome.
my
How
mind,
do
they
they?
just do. So
Well,
I would appreciate that knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
But they don't balance themselves. If you stand a bicycle up, it's not balancing. It's
But if you stand still, it doesn't balance. But if you push it and let it go, it'll balance itself. And
okay.
And sometimes, if you clip in and you don't clip out in time, then it doesn't balance itself because you tip over
No,
and
I did
fall
that.
into the
I
street.
did that once.
Oh yes.
I was clipped. I was clipped
So many
in
times.
with a big backpack full of groceries.
Yeah.
Came up to a stoplight, just tipped over, bang, flat on my
Those
side.
things are scary.
So clipped in for people who don't ride bikes is the thing that you do with putting your shoes into the pedal thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it
But
helps
it's
the
got a-
efficiency.
it's got a
Give it
flap.
twist.
It helps the efficiency of your pedaling.
I wasn't
It
really
does.
clipped
Is
in.
the
Because it
idea.
gives you to push forward.
Because
on.
you're getting theoretically twice. Well, the physicist is over here, so I'm
Inertia.
not gonna.
Is that correct?
You get a-
Inertia.
you get
He's
a
doing
pull
buzz
as well as a
science
push.
words
He
now.
would know.
Yeah, I
He
know.
would
I
know.
know this stuff.
Yeah. So, but the tip over is actually a very funny sight to see. So my first trip when we started in Jacksonville, I signed up too late, and I told them, you're supposed to train, for these trips. I sent them the size of the bicycle I needed, and they said, oh God, that's going to be a problem, you enormous human being. So I didn't see my bike until Jacksonville, and I never clipped into a bicycle before. So I spent the first day riding around in a circle in a cul-de-sac, trying to just clip in and clip out, clip in, clip out. Must have fallen down 50 times. And then, of course, the people living there called the police on me. It was a minor misunderstanding. But the best part is because you basically come to a complete stop, right? And then you realize you can't take your feet out in time.
Right.
So you realize you're going to fall down a full 3 seconds before you make contact with the ground. So it's very slow. Oh, shit. And you fall down.
And what is the trick for getting your feet out of a clip?
There's a twisting mechanism.
Twist. Johnette,
But
are you
so
a bike rider as well?
I am.
Come on.
Yes.
Do you have a clip-in thing?
No. Well, one of the bikes I do have. I
many
have a
bikes have you-
Colnago. I have a very cool
When we ride across the
Colnago.
country together, you will have a clip in.
Okay.
For me, it was just
What route
old-fashioned
what route you wanna
toe
do?
clips.
Sure.
What's the name of your bike?
Wait,
Right now, I just have. Well, I had a Colnago, which is.
How do you spell that?
See?
I didn't know there was
Come
going
on,
to be a
you're
test
Everyone
here.
say C.
You're-
do this
Oh, I don't know.
phonetically.
Colnago. It's Italian.
Colnago.
Colnago. It's
I've
Italian.
never heard that. I like the sound. That sounds like a drink.
Write it down.
I'm writing it down.
wait. There are
Colnago,
different clips
C-O-
than toe clips. Like they clip in your
The bottom
elsewhere.
part of your foot.
Yeah.
Yes, your shoe has
You've got to
a
have
clip.
something on your shoe first, right?
Right. But
So
what
it's-
I'm familiar with the ones on the toe, but
Yeah,
what's
so it's
going on there?
different than
That's
the toe.
it.
So this actually has a mount on the bottom of the shoe that you're cycling shoe.
How
A
does
male,
that-
female part, so to speak.
Yeah, and it
Now you
Yeah,
got
Chris,
Chris
I
has
guess
got
I'm just
it.
thinking of
going.
what's on the toe is the clip. I know the male-female thing, but it's not like your heel is clipped in as well or anything. I'm just like,
No, but I
it's
think
the
it's
same
got a sort of a
place.
slot
it is
system where.
different than the toe pouch.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah.
Can
Your
you wear
shoe has
any
a,
shoes with us, or do you have to have
No.
special shoes?
You need the
They
clip
try,
shoes,
they
right?
tr- yeah, they
Clip
try
shoes.
to make shoes that
you
have
have
the clips
special
on it,
shoes,
and you can
Johnette?
still walk
No more.
around,
Not
but
anymore.
you
Not
can't.
so much. Yeah.
If you got
There are
clips on your
special
shoes,
Andy,
you're
do you have
special-
special shoes?
No. So for me, it was just the old-fashioned toe clips, so I couldn't get out. Because your foot is all the way in there all the way.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I just didn't know how to get out of
they had
it.
a couple of
Put it-
tip overs.
Yeah, well,
couple of
that's
tip
one,
overs.
there's one big one in front
It
of
happens.
the crowd, little crowd.
It happens.
So what's the first line of your address to the physics conference?
It's about...
Anyone here from out of town? Do you say?
Well,
that?
I came here to warm up to practice my...
Oh, you did?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, here's your chance. Come on.
Well, suppose
Do
you
you
want
want, do you want a round of applause?
Are
to
you
start
ready?
with?
Are you ready? My
This
first
is the
line, I
premiere
think.
of
Suppose
his-
you want to make a better robot. Wouldn't it be good if the robot controlled itself and you didn't have to control it? That's my theme.
What if you
Just
wanted
like
to
a
build
bicycle
better-
can balance itself and you don't have to balance it.
Deep.
I'm not sure that that's a good idea or not. It sounds very scary.
It sounds very like a movie of some bad
I think it's
nature.
a
robots
driverless car situation. That
It is,
we're on
right.
our
That's
way
the
to.
idea, is driverless walking robots, right?
What about a driverless
not
bike? Is that possible? That would
It
be a
is.
motorbike. I suppose.
It is. No, but that's the bicycle. You push it, it drives itself, kind of. At least
Nice. It doesn't, though. You have to be on it.
you don't. You can play.
don't?
You can go if you go in a big parking lot. You can play catch with a bicycle. Two people standing like 100 feet apart. You push the bike. It rides itself across the other person. You
Have
push
you
it back.
done that, Andy?
Yes, I
Who did
have.
you do- who
Can
did
you tell his demeanor? He's like, you think I've done this? It's like 200 feet, baby.
One of those activities where if you add alcohol to it, you could really stratospherically
Well, that's-
improve your
yeah.
enjoyment. You know,
And who did you convince to play that with you?
My wife.
And how long have you been married?
here we go.
Married a long time?
22 years.
22 years, okay.
I can show you a
That's
video
very
of her doing
sweet.
it.
Do you have a
actually.
name for that game, Push Bike?
Bicycle catch.
Bicycle
Yeah.
catch, okay.
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
All
I
right.
see this on the Olympics.
I'm doing it.
Bicycle catch. You've been
You
married
heard
a
it here
long time,
first.
Johnette, haven't you?
4 years
4 years is quite a long time in our circles.
in New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you want to leave us, Andy? You want to get back to practicing?
No, but I can show you while you're talking. I'll go set up the video and you can watch the bicycle. I'll show you a video of the bike.
Yeah,
Bicycle
Yeah.
catch.
We'll go back to
We're
hanging
going
out
to-
for a minute.
Bike
All right.
catch.
All right.
Love
Yeah,
it.
we're going to provide color commentary on this video of bicycle
Okay, what are
catch.
the chances that we've got some sort of bike expert?
That's
here?
pretty good.
Okay, so you got 30 of you rode across the country. Who are these other 29 people? It's some sort of a group,
Yeah, other
Like a-
other people that decided to do this with me.
part of Habitat for Humanity or something?
Yeah, it's through a nonprofit organization.
Right.
Other people that decided this would be a good idea. So a small number of people.
And did you meet any young women or any romantic?
Well, it's interesting you should mention it
Thank
because
you.
it really is quite the social experiment, right? It's
Right.
30 strangers thrown together, all clad in spandex, right, riding across the country.
Toe clips, male and female, things going in.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing leads to another.
Everybody's quads getting bigger, arms getting smaller. The tan lines, people. The tan lines.
Why do your arms get smaller?
Because they atrophy. I mean, what are you doing with these things? while you're
How long
biking?
does it take to bike
much.
across there? Like 5 years? Your arms are going to atrophy in the distance. How long does it take?
Atrophy is a strong word, but it was about 2.5 months.
Oh my God, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
How many
but
houses
your,
did
your
you-
legs are just
That sounds really fun.
absolutely.
Is there like
I like
You
a,
like to do that,
I
Johnette?
like this
Okay.
idea. Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
we have another.
is there a travel manager? Or you
31.
gotta go for yourself. Or
Yeah, so
they-
basically of the 30 people, 26 are just mindlessly living the dream. You just wake up in the morning, get handed some directions,
Right.
and you make yourself get to that destination.
I
At
thought
the
you
end
were
of
going
the
to say
day,
get handed some drugs. Did you think that?
no.
No, directions.
I would never besmirch this nonprofit on such
Yeah.
a fine program.
Okay.
The point is
So you're
that
doing this straight.
so, it's a.
Ish.
I love how I did this with my hand
Right.
as if this
It's
was a
radio.
video that this is going to work on. Sorry, I'm new to this. But yeah, so the idea is those 26 people just get directions and have to make it there by the end of the day. Do whatever you want. Just get there. There's going to be food,
Oh, it's not
showers,
a group. It's
and
not
there's
like
going to be
a
a bar.
peloton or whatever they call it in biking.
That
Riding,
is a yeah, that is a peloton.
yeah, I mean,
Isn't that
people
what they
break
call it?
up into groups. Riding 30 at a time would be logistically pretty difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You break
everyone
up into
just
smaller
goes.
You're gonna
groups.
hate somebody of the 30, and you're gonna want to get away
Tall
from
guy.
That's another great point because out of the
That's
30,
true.
there's probably a handful of people that you get along with
They ain't your
so
folks, yeah,
well.
right.
And at the end of the trip, you think, oh no, how can I live without them? Then there's a handful of people that you think, I can't spend one more minute because you're all sleeping together in the same quarters.
Karen
you're sharing
takes so
every
long in
meal.
the shower.
A
Karen
lot.
never gets on the bike in time. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, a lot of communal showers,
Yeah.
that type of thing goes
Okay.
on. So yeah, it really does turn into a quasi orgy by the time you hit, I don't know, the Midwest or so.
Well, good news. We get to find out
Yes.
about this in
Okay,
our show.
here's
Let's do
the-
this thing.
Here's a
With the video.
demonstration of
People on the radio are
bike
watching a video.
catch.
Don't worry about it. You're not
It's the-
involved.
It's
You'll-
the premiere of this.
You'll have
too.
to watch this on
here we
Facebook.
go.
Oh, look, here he's
Yeah.
pushing the
Pushes
bike
off.
across the
Oh,
parking
my
lot.
goodness.
It's halfway.
And has no seat.
It has
the
no
bike.
seats because
noticing
it doesn't need a
That's
seat.
really-
Seats
yeah,
are for
that
humans.
is-
Wow, that is
Gloriously yellow, ladies
Look
and
how
gentlemen.
far it's
Seats are
going, and
for
that's not your
suckers.
wife, by the way.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
It
distance.
could be.
So
His
two
wife.
questions.
Good
Why
point,
no
Johnette.
seat?
That's-
Let's say let's
Okay,
ask
why
No
why
no
human.
seat? All right.
It would make the
right,
center
there
of
he goes.
gravity higher, so you took the seat off.
Man, that is awesome. I want to do
That's
this.
pretty
now.
impressive, I have to say. This is a bicycle riding itself across the
There,
parking
I
lot.
see like this.
is like
you
the
could do
Google.
darts, bicycle darts.
There are,
maybe? You
there
know,
are,
something
there
like
are
wherever
10
it falls.
adults
Oh,
sitting
yeah,
in a
yeah,
bar
like shuffleboard.
watching somebody
Like a
push a
huge
bicycle
target.
Like shuffleboard.
towards another person in a parking lot.
We
ladies
can
and
understand if your 8-year-old kid did this, but what possessed you exactly to be interested in this?
Physics, man.
Physics. I like you.
What is the law of... Andy, look at me here. Andy, come back.
Oh, wait, we
Look,
have
here's
another
another
video.
shot. Here's
Second
ano-
video.
Here's another shot
Here
of
we
the
go.
bicycle pushing itself.
I mean, that was a turkey, I believe.
Defying.
He
Oh,
threw
that's
a turkey
your wife
on that
there.
one.
Okay.
There she is.
Okay.
Lovely.
So wait, the seat creates drag, so you have to get rid of the seat.
No, the
correct?
seat's just, I don't know. The
Aw,
bike didn't
man,
have
I
a
thought I
seat. It just didn't have
Yeah,
a
leave
bike.
it
Oh
at
man, I
that.
thought I was
Yeah,
onto
no, I
something.
thought
You want a
Yeah.
seat?
Stop
I thought you were a
overthinking it.
physics expert
Some
for a
have
minute.
some
there, John.
seats. Some bikes don't
Apparently.
have a seat. What's the
overthinking
big
it.
deal?
Well,
No,
you
we
can't
just-
ride standing up. Come on.
No, we just didn't have one.
But if we're going to get something out of this, we need to find out what is the law of physics that you're exemplifying here
Yes.
that we can learn something about.
question.
Andy?
The big thing is when things balance, they've got to be supported underneath the center of mass. So the bike's got to be above the wheels. So when it falls to the right, somehow the wheels have to get back underneath. So the bike steers to the right, and that brings the wheels back underneath it. And it's the same way that you balance when you're standing up. Like if you fall to the right, you step to the right. When you fall forwards, you step forwards. So the basic idea is that the gravity force has to be aligned with the support force. And when they get out of a line, something has to get them back in alignment.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the basic principle.
Is anybody following this?
I got
I could work with
the
that.
first
I
5
don't
words.
believe, I don't believe any of you guys.
Well, like your feet have to be under your stomach, basically, right?
Yeah.
And if you're falling over, your stomach's not over your feet anymore. You got to move your feet back underneath. And the same with the bicycle. If you're falling off to the right, somehow the wheels got to get back underneath you. So they you steer to the
So
right.
they've got to be vertical. I mean, whatever it is, horizontal to the plane that
Vertical,
they're on.
vertical,
so you
right.
vertical, so you don't fall off.
So you don't fall off,
Yeah.
right?
So isn't this? I hate to say this, Andrew. You go before.
Oh, just
I don't
a
want to
quick
be-
question. So you said this bike didn't happen to have a seat. I'm just playing devil's advocate because you're practicing here.
Yes.
Do you think that your physics friends won't your physics friends say
Where's
a
the
higher
seat?
center of gravity would have meant a seat would have meant a higher center of gravity,
Yes.
and that it wouldn't have gone that far.
Yes, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, it would be fine. So I show this video to people. I say, now, what's funny about this bicycle? And they say, it doesn't have a seat. And then I say, well, that's true. What else? They say, well,
Doesn't
it
have
doesn't
a
have
rider.
pedals.
Oh.
Okay, what else? It doesn't have a chain. Okay, what else? It doesn't have brakes. What else? It doesn't have a person on it. What else? But actually, there's something else funny about it, which is that the forks are bent.
The forks.
Forks are bent.
Help us out, bike anatomy people. What's a fork?
That's
Okay,
the
that's
thing.
it.
That's
The
the thing
front
that
part
goes
that
from the
holds the
front
front
wheels,
wheel.
from the handlebars to the front wheels that holds the
Yeah.
wheels on the front wheel
That's
on.
not a completely ridiculous situation.
The forks are bent.
Okay, is
but
that
that's
something you
not good.
did?
Well, it enables you to get low and get aerodynamic. I mean, that's pretty low.
No, so
But-
this is a bike that came out of my
Yeah.
barn. It's not sort of a
You
random.
have your
Yeah.
own barn as well.
Ooh,
That's cool.
I'm jealous.
I've never
I
had
have
a
no
barn.
barns.
I've
Not
never
too
had
many
a barn.
barns in
No.
New Orleans, unfortunately.
What else
No.
is in the barn besides your
Streetcar
old
barn.
bike? Streetcar
go.
barn up there on Johnette Street. Yeah, right.
That's about it.
Bicycle museum in there.
You have a bike museum in the barn. So you're a real bike guy.
You really
Yeah.
do love bicycles, don't you?
I don't ride bikes much, but I'm interested in how they work.
Yeah.
I don't read comics, but I have a huge collection.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that.
Never read any of them, but I got like a box of them somewhere that I've had for
a
45
garage
years.
full, actually, is the way.
You probably do, right, Chris?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've never read one of them, but boxes labeled in the plastic thing
Do
with
you
tape.
do you
Yeah,
buy them
I'm
for
the-
investments?
No, I just buy them for pleasure. Well, you know what?
You go to Comic-Con?
A wise
I'm,
man
I'm
told
the
me,
exact same way about porn.
if you want to make an investment, buy something that you like. So in case it doesn't work out investment-wise, you can still have something you like.
But how do you know if you like it if you don't read it?
I like the pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a real simple
What's-
guy.
isn't that-
I like the pictures.
Here's
that's good,
here's
that's
another
valid.
example of pushing the bike catch. This time,
This one has,
this is a
one
bike
has
with little
teeny
I
wheels.
think we call that a
Oh,
scooter.
right.
It's like a scooter, except for it's got teeny wheels, and it's
No seat
It's
at
like
all.
something you made for out of, in a hospital, out of the hospital bed.
it's a little bit special. Yeah,
Did you make this
my friend made it in Holland.
in Holland? Okay, so it's a Dutch bike. Do you
It's a
do?
Dutch-
Do you
Dutch
do?
friend.
Do you do Pilates?
Parties.
Parties
No,
are
I didn't say that, but
parties.
that's even funny.
Pilates.
Pilates. Do you do Pilates? No, just
don't?
checking. Okay.
Where is this
I do.
conference, by the way? Is it the convention center?
The conference is the big convention center.
Yeah. All right.
So what other speeches have you,
You can
been
come
to?
see me Friday morning at 11.
Public, yeah.
Friday at 11?
Friday at 11. We can
Done.
do that. We're not doing anything.
Q&A session?
We'll be the charity
Yeah.
section.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, Andy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you taking your bike down
I was
there
going
for
to
a
say, I'll
demo?
bring my bike and I'll
I'm going
push
to
it
ride my
right off
bike.
the
I'm going to
stage.
ride my bike there.
Yes.
Okay. Where are you staying while you're in New Orleans?
Like a mile from here on Ferret. We're on Ferret.
You're on
Nice,
Ferret
yeah.
Street, so
I'm
you're
about
out.
a mile down that way on Ferret Street. Yeah.
Okay. And how you liking the
Airbnb.
neighborhood? Airbnb, right?
I like
Okay,
it. Yeah.
so you're contributing to the destruction of the neighborhood.
Ava and Michael's B&B. I advertise it. It's very good.
What are their names?
Ava and Michael.
Eva and Michael.
Eva.
I hope nobody goes and
Shout out.
firebombs. A lot of people here don't like Airbnb.
I mean, a lot of people just in
I love it,
general,
personally.
yeah, the spread of.
I think it's awesome,
yeah,
but-
yeah.
But there's
very
a lot of people
convenient.
on this show have told us how much that's ruining New Orleans.
I don't like it until I need one. You know?
Exactly, yeah. Until you have to go somewhere else. And then, wow,
Exactly.
it's
I don't
cheap
like
and
And
it's
then I get one
great.
immediately.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's nice to meet Andy. Andy, nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Thanks
Andy.
for joining
Thank you,
us.
Andy.
Man.
What's
Well
your,
done.
Andy, what's your other name so we can Google you?
You can Google me. Ruina. Ruina.
R-U-I-N-A. Andy.
Ruina.
Yeah. I'm very Googleable.
Okay.
Googleable.
It's a very unusual name, Ruina.
Polish Jewish.
Polish and Jewish.
Polish Jewish.
So your parents or your grandparents were Polish Jews?
All 4 of my grandparents are from Poland.
All 4 of your grandparents?
And they don't say they're Polish. They say they're Jewish. It's just not, to them, it's not Polish. I mean, that's what they would have said when they were alive.
Yeah.
Do you speak Polish?
They didn't even speak Polish.
No,
I
they
don't think.
didn't.
They just spoke Yiddish. I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. You don't speak Yiddish, I assume, right?
I do not.
Okay, all right, just checking. That would have been a good language to do the speech in about the... I bet, what's Yiddish for bicycle catch? I bet there's a good
Bicycle catch. We'll have
For bicycle catch.
bicycle catch in Yiddish. Well, I'm going to write that down as well now. Okay, so
I
listen.
don't think they had that back
I
then.
do feel like that my accomplishment was minimized by the fact that we just watched bicycles move on their own.
That is true. That is true.
Like,
way to go.
Nothing,
Sorry,
you
buddy.
know. Obviously, we're fast friends, you know. But the 7,000 miles I rode my bicycle
You mean you
across
sat
the
on
country.
a
Exactly.
bicycle and
You
it
wasted
At
your
this
time.
point, it was what 90% momentum and
It
5% physics.
could have rolled itself.
5%
At least you
drinking.
got the seal
I feel
out.
like I kind of got.
So you spent
That's okay.
you spent half a year in total then riding your bike across the country and back?
Well, it wasn't back. I basically rode it once,
And then-
flew back,
Right.
and then the following summer did it again.
So you did 2 summers in a row.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd never been out west before, so that was mind-blowing experience.
that's cool.
And how
the
many
first-
miles a day are you doing?
Well, it depends, about 75 on average.
Wow.
But it really depends on who's willing to put us up for the night. Because you're trying to save money. So basically how it works is, so I was talking, the 26 people have completely no responsibility. Right?
That's where we got
The
to
remaining-
before Andy came over with us. Let's
and
go back
blew
to
me
that.
right out of the water.
Yeah, so when we
there's-
when we edit the show, we'll just cut Andy
and
out
completely
and we'll
upstage
just
me
have
with the
you.
bicycle that does not actually require human propulsion. So then there's 4 people that are in charge of all the logistics, which is what I was doing the second summer. And they are trying to find the safest bike route, a free place for everyone to stay, and meals to eat, which can be a serious struggle. Because when you're 30 people and you just biked 100 miles, you don't smell great, you need showers, and you eat for about 120, 130, right? So I would routinely be cold calling the mayor of Coshocton, Ohio, or Socorro, New Mexico, and say, hey, myself and 30 of my friends are going to be in town on our bicycles. How would you like to house us, give us a place to shower, and feed us? Which was an uphill battle, I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. Sometimes we
Are
slept
you
in tents.
surprised to hear this is
gonna wanna gear
none
down
of
on
this
that
is
call.
planned out?
No, I mean, this was several months in advance that I would make these phone calls.
Oh,
But
I
for the
thought you
most
were
part,
on your
you get
bike, like
well,
Googling.
for the most part, you get
food.
a response, but there were definitely the
Mayor
occasion
here.
when you were really far out into the wilderness in New Mexico, and you were 36 hours out and going, well, I guess we're doing peanut butter and jelly and tents tonight. So that's
So you have that with you. You have a supply of peanut butter and jelly and bread just in case things.
well, you have to. There are bulk purchases along the way of peanut butter and jelly,
And are there
honey buns.
That's what I was going to say. Is there a car following?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
So I wouldn't mind doing that.
Driving the van.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
driving
like-
the van
Feel
can be
like-
a good time.
You can smoke cigarettes in the car.
You can absolutely
Oh,
smoke
so that would
cigarettes
be
in the
good.
van. Yeah.
then you
Somebody
can-
needs to drive the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds
We could
better.
listen to podcasts like
Yeah.
Happy Hour.
Yes, you could have
I
a
could
podcast.
make a podcast,
the
actually.
whole
That would
way.
be
You
a
can
fun
just
way
interview
of doing
people as they're struggling to climb the Rockies. You can just shove a microphone out and go, hey,
What if-
how's it going
How's
out
it
there?
going?
What if we were like the Stardusters bus or somebody like in the parade with giant speakers on the, on
like
the roof?
that.
And we're just playing Rocky themes and shit, to the bike folks.
I think we can
There
incorporate
you
the
go.
harmonica too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Flight of
and
the Valkyrie.
Hell
We've
yeah.
got a mic with a megaphone in front. Just be like,
Well, while we're doing that, why don't we also
Yeah.
have
Pick
a-
it up,
a-
Karen.
Why don't we have a
Let's
truck
go,
with
Karen.
people with beads on it?
Yeah.
And
well,
we could-
I think eventually our friend's just
We have
going to
a truck.
invent a bicycle that you can push from the Atlantic and have it end up in the Pacific.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Like
That's,
Andy.
There you
that's
go.
where we're. That's where
That's
we're
where we're
leading.
headed.
Just
So-
have to come up
I
with a
wasted
more
my
comfortable
time.
seat.
Yeah. I wasted
This is
my
the
time,
Google of
basically.
bicycles.
Wait, I've got an
That
idea.
seat looked
Yeah.
pretty rough,
I got
for
it.
Yeah.
12 hours.
So there's that tube that they're thinking about building in the West Coast. That's like a vacuum tube
Right.
where it takes very little to propel a shuttle of people through that tube, right?
Right.
What if we created a beam or a bike path from Jacksonville to San Francisco,
Yes.
where you started about 100 feet in the air, and you just make sure the bike path was constantly on a slope,
Just kind of keep that momentum
And all you got to
going.
do is just coast.
Keep it going. Keep it
But
going.
that's how they built the aqueducts across the whole
That's
of the
right.
Middle East.
Exactly. Like Greece.
Yes.
That's what they did.
That's
yeah.
exactly what it is.
This is,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
think
like if you
that's an
split a
idea
number
whose
in
time has
half,
come again.
you'll never get to zero.
This is a
It's
Sir
possible.
Isaac Newton
Right.
level of epiphany right here. That was just reached. If you just get high enough, you could just push the bicycle down.
That's it.
From
You
ocean
just
to
got to
ocean.
create
But
the,
that's
the
true.
bike path.
though.
Yeah.
That's absolutely, and that's how they built those
Physics.
aqueducts across
Yeah.
the entire Middle East. Except they wanted to transport water.
Yeah.
But now we figured that out. Now the whole thing is, wouldn't it be great if we could get all these cars off the road?
right.
What
That's
if we
right.
just
That's right.
build a thing on a slope? You could be on your skateboard, on your bicycle,
Anything, yeah.
on your three-wheeler.
I bet Sweden's
This is a
already doing
brilliant
this.
idea.
Sweden's
Sweden's
probably
already-
like 80% of the way to
It's a
having this
genius
idea be a
idea,
reality.
Andrew.
Thanks, buddy.
That's one of these environmentally, sound ideas that someone's going to do. Okay, it's time for some music. Who's going to provide some music here? What's happening? Johnette?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, but
What
I
are
have,
you playing? Well, Chris is going to play.
On
Chris already
harmonica.
played a little bit of his harmonica.
he
Wait
could
a
do,
minute, is that a guitar right there?
Yes.
That's a guitar. You don't play the guitar.
I don't play the guitar.
but you can play the
Do you want
harmonica.
to? Do you want to
Yes,
try
But
it?
you dabble.
I dabble. I've dabbled. before.
Okay. Well, we
I'll
have
play
two
the-
guitars here actually. If you want to play two of them.
Play guitar, you play harmonica.
All right. All right.
All right.
We could
That
probably
sounds
do
like a
that.
good idea. Now this still requires a human being, right?
Now I'm thinking, oh, now I know how to spell Colnago. like back on
Colnago. Colnago.
That's
Is that
it.
right?
You got it.
Look at this beautiful looking guitar. This is like a
Carbon
fiber.
Carbon.
Is that right?
Jigs.
Yes.
Buy me a Coke.
Wow.
Yes, because I live in because I would tour so much out of the country and
Got to
also-
keep it light.
Hey, so
Exactly.
if anyone's listening,
Well,
to
because
this,
there was a time when if you have a guitar and you bring it overseas, they could confiscate it because if it had any exotic
had
wood in
Brazilian
it.
has it
Rosewood.
been?
Yeah.
Oh, has it
So-
been to any one of the 6 countries
I've
that
been,
are banned?
I've
has
been
the
to
guitar,
several.
Has
I've
the
been
guitar been to the?
this one.
'Cause it may not be allowed to be played.
It may not be allowed to be put above the overhead
No,
bin. you know?
exactly.
That's why it's
No,
carbon
this-
fiber.
It might not
Carbon,
be
yeah.
part of the band, which isn't a band, which affects the band that's not a band. You know what I'm saying?
So, which countries have you been to that are currently banned?
Well, I've been to rainforest countries like Costa Rica.
That's okay. You can come
Yeah.
back in if you've been.
Pura vida.
Yeah. Pura vida, sí, excelente.
Have you been to Iran? Is that on the list? I
I've
think
been
that's
to
on-
several Middle Eastern countries. I've been to Oman. Speaking of aqueduct,
Oman.
Yeah, Oman, Egypt, Bahrain.
Oh, you even say that like the Arab people say it. Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Wow, that's impressive. How did you?
Sabah Akher. That means.
So you speak any Arabic other than Bahrain and Sabah?
Sabah Akher. That's how are you? Good
How are
day.
you?
Yeah, and you say Afwan. It's thank you. And yeah, so I just
Okay.
when I go to a country, I try to learn a few words to niceties so that you can.
So these are words that you want to speak to children because you're the children's ambassador.
That's what. Yes.
Isn't that what it says here?
Yes.
I can't really read this due to my fucked up glasses situation, but why is that? I wonder actually.
Because you're old.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I
These
noticed-
these glasses worked last week. I can tell you that.
I just
don't
turned
know
old,
why-
so that's what I'm saying.
Do you have glasses?
I have like a glass for every occasion in life.
Why
okay?
aren't you wearing yours?
I'm wearing contacts right
Ah,
now.
well,
but
that
sometimes I
explains.
take them out and I put my glasses on, and sometimes I leave them in, and then I have the reading glasses.
Right.
Then I have the double reading glasses. And sometimes I take out everything and I go like super close up vision too. So this all happened right. I think about 20 minutes after I turned 40 years old.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. I can't see anything.
I mean,
But it says here
25 minutes
somewhere.
tops. It all went.
It says, Johnny, it says here you're called the musical ambassador to children
Right.
and the Pied Piper of Louisiana music traditions. Who came up with those things? They roll right off the tongue.
Right. Well, the Kuwaiti ambassador's wife called me the musical ambassador to children.
Wow.
When I was in Kuwait, because I travel all over the world.
Is that on the list? I don't know whether that's legal
Kuwait?
to say Kuwait anymore.
You can.
You can say Kuwait, that's legal, all right.
Wait a minute here.
Full now,
I don't want to get anyone into trouble.
I'm texting Sean Spicer right now. We're gonna
I've
figure
lost
Okay.
a lot of Kuwait lately. I'm feeling good.
Another 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so Johnette, what do you want to play for us?
Oh, let's see. What key?
I just have a G minor harmonica, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
so
That,
you don't
that
want to mess with that.
eliminates
Who
everything.
buys a G minor harmonica?
Exactly.
I'm very serious about harmonicas
Why did you bring your G minor one?
because I wanted to do that cool song that we did. You know,
Oh, you've got a song you
Worth
can do
it.
together?
we did it. The
Oh,
spoken
that one.
word.
Oh, we did. Oh, that's
Exactly.
Don't you remember
Okay.
Rat Puddle?
okay. It's
Right.
going back now.
So you can play in another key in G minor, but I can't remember which.
I can also play in C minor.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, I'm screwing you up. Go ahead, you do your thing. I'm gonna sit
All right,
here.
so should we do something that's participatory,
You wanna
like
do a
I did
participatory
last
song?
time I was on the show?
If you think that we can, keep up with you, yes. Andrew, you need a microphone at this point.
You did this before with me, not the
Did
same
I?
song. I'll do a different song. Okay, so this is How to Dress a Poboy, because I do Louisiana music for children, and I try to get children involved. So every time I say Poboy, you're going to say Poboy.
What do you mean we're going to say?
Oh boy.
Poboy. So,
Oh boy.
got it.
Man, we're
And
good.
it's to teach children how to dress a Poboy, because you know how to dress a Poboy, right?
No.
Put socks on it. Pajamas.
Is that us too?
No, you gotta
I
wait till
told you it was a
Poboy.
children's song. That's right. You got it.
Is she?
A po' boy is a sandwich, as everybody knows. Dressed with all the fixings, and this is how it goes. First, you start with bread. What kind of bread, guys?
French bread.
Good. Long French bread. Then you add the mayonnaise. What kind of mayonnaise?
Blue
I like
plate.
helmets.
What?
I mean, blue plate.
Blue plate. There you go. Blue plate mayonnaise. All right, get ready.
Also apartments.
Come on now, we're learning how to dress up. Po' boys.
Oh boy.
Girl or boy, let's all enjoy a Louisiana po' boy.
Oh boy.
Got it.
We're in.
Lay down a bit of lettuce, leafy green lettuce. Follow with tomato. What kind of tomato?
Creole.
Good. Creole tomato. Perk it up with pickles. What kind of pickles?
Vlasic.
Gherkin. Dill. I don't really like pickles too much. Which is what I
That's optional, yeah.
optional pickles.
Optional pickles.
Dill pickles.
Survey says.
Spice it up with
I like crystals.
Zatarans.
Creole mustard.
what kind of hot sauce?
Cristal.
Gotta be crystals. Do it.
Louisiana hot
One
sauce.
stop. One drop will do you.
Come on now, we're learning how to dress up.
Oh boy.
Girl or boy, let's all enjoy a Louisiana.
Oh boy.
You got it. Then you top it off with meat, any kind of meat. Shrimp, catfish, or soft shell crab. Roast beef debris, or Italian meatball. Crawfish or sausage, or alligator. Come on now, we're learning how to dress up.
Oh boy.
Girl or boy, let's all enjoy a Louisiana.
Oh boy.
Then you put it all together. Yeah, you right. Now your po' boy is dressed, so take a
Bye.
ooh-wee. Come on now, we learn how to dress up.
Oh boy.
Girl or boy, let's all enjoy a Louisiana.
Oh boy.
Girl or boy, let's all enjoy a Louisiana.
Oh boy.
Shooby dooby da ba zabby doo ba ba zap zap shooby doo ba ba. Very nice.
Man, that was good. We wouldn't have clapped nearly that much if we weren't part of it. We're actually like applauding
No.
ourselves because we think we're so great.
Well,
right?
I just, yeah, I figured we
Basically,
did it. We did
Yeah,
it.
we.
You did do it. That was great.
That's amazing how you got us to all do that,
Yeah.
Johnette. It must be. How many kids normally do you play to? Like a class of 30 or a whole bunch of 100 kids? Or
Yeah,
what?
hundreds of kids. Yeah,
Hundreds.
concerts.
Amphitheater is the word you're looking for there.
Yeah,
Amphitheater.
usually an audience is like 300.
Right. How much are you getting paid to sing to like 300 kids? Is it like rock and roll type money?
I wish.
30
That'd be really-
G's.
But yeah. Do you have a manager, an agent, and all that?
I do
sort of
all of it.
You do
Yeah,
everything?
One woman business.
Right.
yeah. Publicity, everything.
How do you get a gig like in Bahrain, say?
Oh, that's been going on. I've been doing this for 30 years. So
Right.
through friends.
So everybody knows you now.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
and,
how's it work? Yeah. go
and
on.
I often do teacher workshops at conferences, and so then I teach teachers how to use music, especially when I'm in another country, how to use music in the class to teach language.
Like what?
Like that song,
Oh, boy.
Yeah, like Today is Monday, the other song I sing. Today
Right.
is Monday,
Red beans and rice.
That's right.
I imagine red beans and rice is a shorter.
That's it. Monday, red beans. That's it. Yeah.
That's what you got.
So use music as a tool, because in other countries they don't use music as a tool in the classroom to teach a language, and it's a perfect vehicle for teaching.
What do they use? Just like
It's
just
kind of
like-
dry, flashcards and the old kind of old school stuff.
Just
Repeat after
old-fashioned.
me.
Do they end up with an education, these kids, or?
Yes.
See, that's the thing.
But they can't make
Yes.
a sandwich.
Yeah.
They can definitely make a sandwich after this.
After this, they can. I'm saying without her,
It's
they would
blue
not be
plate,
able-
by the way, kids, not helmets. All right.
That's right,
I think
thank
helmets
you.
is fake. Is it synthetic or some sort?
I don't know. It's got to be blue plate.
Yes.
Gotta be blue plate.
I'm sure it's
It's a
not.
substitute.
Hey, did you know that shrimp was meat?
Shrimp was meat?
Is it?
On Friday?
I was surprised to hear that you say we put some meat on it. And then the
Crawfish?
first word was shrimp.
Oh.
I don't think the Kuwaiti
Well-
children are making that distinction.
Well, I'm interested to know,
It's
is
seafood.
shrimp meat?
Well, because, no, I guess in the sense of Catholic in Louisiana, no, because you can have seafood for Lent, but you can't have meat.
It also says you can't eat shrimp in the Bible.
It
Really?
says it in the Bible?
It does.
Cloven hoof.
Heard that.
Clove and hoof.
Cloven.
And wing.
They're good, those two.
And
What-
wing.
What part of the Bible says you can't eat?
I don't know. It's
Ten
like
Commandments.
when
Ten
you
The
bring up-
dietary supplement.
Well, it's
in the back.
It's not kosher if you're
It's
going
the
to
seventh commandment, people. Read something.
Read it.
Because it's a bottom feeder.
Oh, probably something like
'cause it's
that.
a
Well, it
bottom
doesn't have scales. If it's not kosher, if it doesn't have a cloven hoof or scales. So that's why shrimp and oysters are not kosher. But I don't know that that's actually in the Bible, is it?
I'm fairly sure it is because it's the thing that you bring up when people say that they adhere strictly to the Bible. You ask them if they
And then
eat
you
shrimp.
say, oh, well, do you eat shrimp?
Ah,
Oh, I see.
sinner.
Well, I know some
Well-
things like if it's a cadaver, it eats dead things, and they can't have it. But I don't know if that's in the Bible. I know some religious people don't eat crawfish and crabs and shrimp.
They don't know what they're
Crustaceans.
missing, darling.
Crustaceans.
They're delicious. God wants you to eat them, okay?
Beware the man of one book. That's all I say.
So, Chris, we never got back to the 59 people who have watched your... It was
Yeah.
58 before, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
give us
there's
the
one
elevator
more.
pitch on the video. Let's get some 59 and 60.
Yeah,
All right.
I want to get 60 people. I just I like to do videos and just little shorts about just something different, different approach about my music world, and that's just being real. Just a real, true, honest approach, and putting out there kind of the normalcy of who I am, and juxtaposed
well,
by how I play music and what I become when I start playing music, and I become a different person.
What does that usually look like? Give me an example.
Well, usually I'm not acting normal now, but when I start playing, I start going pretty wild, And a lot of my personality, as an entertainer, comes out on that stage, and I think that in a sense, that's really what I like best about playing music is the performance. And I started filming that, and then I started trying to think about it would be interesting to tell people what's going on with me during that performance. So that's kind of the impetus behind a lot of the work that I put out there is, just kind of letting people know the machine that goes into a live performance and leading a band and the mechanics of putting it all together and having it work and when it doesn't work and all those things.
Yeah.
And the human aspect of it. A lot of
Totally.
times people put their videos out to kind of deify them in this great way, and I just try to do the opposite. I try to
Cool.
let you know I'm just still thinking about the same stuff as you are.
I think you just got 59. I'm totally going to check
Come
that
on,
video.
please.
Absolutely.
60.
It's some of it is
Real
like
music.
stream of consciousness, like
Absolutely.
strange things, juxtapositions of...
Yeah, because
Things happen.
I'm a kind of the guy that has a lot of things going on in my head about the world around me, and I like to write them down for starters, so I stop thinking about them because they're just inundated with them. And then as I started write them down, the scripts started to write themselves. They really started to just put together this whole image of what's going on in my head, and then I started to narrate it, film it,
Cool.
and try to express it that way.
And is this what you do for a living, or are you actually a tattoo artist?
I'm both. I'm an artist. I am a bohemian.
So how many tattoos would you do in, like, are you tattooing people every day?
Yep. Yeah, I have a tattoo this afternoon after this.
What are you going to do? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I've been working on this guy for about 3 or 4 years, and
Wow.
and today I'm working on a portrait of Dr. John that I started on him last week.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you really slow, or
No,
has he got a lot
pretty
of
fast.
tattoos?
He's got a lot of tattoos, sleeves, and stuff like that. I do like really large projects, and they usually take years. I have like a lot of full body suits, and sometimes they take about 8 to 10 years.
Wow.
Full
Wow.
body suits?
Yeah, I have one guy, and he's huge, and he's a really big fella. And I have his entire back, his entire leg, all the way up to his armpit, and his entire front side.
Wow.
And gosh, I'm forgetting like all the backs of his legs, everything. And it's taken about 10 years. This guy I'm working with today is a tie-dye artist, and he does tie-dye everything, shirts and things like that. And he wanted a tattoo that would reflect his outfit, which is always something different and always something insanely colorful. So he has a blasting every color in the world tattoo on his arm and on his back, and I'm getting ready to do this other tribute. So that's another thing I do. I play music. I'm an artist, and I do like doing tattoos. I've been doing it all for about 20 years now.
Killer. Are you going to, in your exhibit, have a couple of your clients just stand perfectly still? Because that would be pretty cool.
They'll be there, but they never stand still.
Yeah.
With the photos,
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
With the
yeah.
photos,
with the reflections of the tide pool.
Body art.
Hell yeah.
But it's a great way to express oneself as an artist. And I'll tell you this: I do fine art, and I have sold art, watercolors, and things like that. The thing that I like about being a tattoo artist is that it walks away from you, but it never gets thrown away. You know, you never see this artwork in the back of somebody's garage that they used to like it 10 years ago. You know, it never goes out of date for those people. And when you see those people that you've tattooed 10, 20 years later, as I am now, it's a nice thing to just have your like a recording, just like music, of where you were at that time, what you're all about, and how you were executing your art, you know, and your form of art.
Have you improved as a tattoo artist over the last 20 years?
Of course. Everyone as an artist probably should never stop improving. So
Do you wish that you'd had some stuff to do over again that you did 20 years ago?
That's my question.
That's your question,
I wanna
Thomas. Go ahead, ask it.
I want to ask about the first time that you
Ah,
put
that's
something
a
on
great
someone
question.
that was permanent,
it's not great.
and how that worked. Did you admit it beforehand?
Oh, yeah.
Was it-
You have to
really?
tell them that, you know, you have
And
to
they
make an
went,
I've
arrangement.
never
Sure,
done this
great.
before.
Yeah.
Who
There's
was the
so many people, by the
That's
way, that say yes to
fascinating
that.
to me.
Really?
What? Even to this day, because there's still stuff that I haven't done, you know, and I still say I've never done this before, and there are so many people, you would never believe it, but so many that say absolutely go for it, and if it doesn't work out, maybe like we'll try to figure it out.
I haven't got that
It's
long
not like
to
it's
live.
forever. I mean, it's like,
You would never believe it if I told you. Like,
I would not.
it's unreal how many people are like, sure, absolutely, man. Is it free?
But the first
Is it free?
Is it free? That's the
Then
main
yes.
thing.
Yes, if it's free, they'll let me
Wow.
put anything on them.
Wow.
I've tattooed cockroaches on people.
but the first tattoo you ever
Okay.
gave, did they know that this was the first tattoo
Oh
that
yeah,
you'd
the
ever
first
given?
3 knew. And the contract was, if you ever need a tattoo for the rest of your life, as I get better, if I do get better, hopefully, it's on the house. you
Okay.
know? It's on the house.
Have they
You're-
come back?
No.
What was the first tattoo?
The first tattoo was some initials on somebody's arm.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, nothing spectacular, but it was funny because I screwed it up, you know?
Well, yeah, man.
Why, were you
It's a
nervous?
skill.
I was nervous. I remember the guy who was teaching me. He asked me how much coffee I had that day, and I didn't even drink any coffee. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "How much coffee do you drink, Chris?" Just didn't understand what he's talking about. He leans over. He's like, "Your hands are
Yeah.
shaking like crazy."
You were like,
So you just had
I'm a
cou-
drug addict. It's not a big deal.
Can you do it now? Can you drink and have coffee and stuff, or do you?
Oh yeah, I mean now it's
You
old
don't-
hats. I've been doing it since I was 20, and you know now I do.
What about the blindness aspect? How's that?
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. So imagine this, okay? I'm nearsighted, incredibly nearsighted. I mean, if you know anything about nearsightedness, I'm -9 in one eye and -8.5 in the other.
Wow.
Was that blind,
that's
basically?
Super ridiculously
Yeah, I'm like-
legally blind. I can't drive without it, okay? But the phenomenon is
Clients
that
are lining up.
when I take my contacts out, I actually see, and most people tell you this, close up with incredible accuracy and real precision. Has to be very, very close, like within 4 or 5 inches of my face. But if I do get there, it's like a magnifying glass, essentially.
Right.
I see way, way closer in more detail than anyone with a regular 20/20
Really?
vision.
It's a Stevie Wonder with his touch situation.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, I'm talking.
fascinating.
If I get right there, I can't read my driver's license unless it's right here. But once it is there, the focus
Wow.
is incredible. So it's actually an asset that I've turned to my
That
favor.
is pretty cool. That's
Wow.
lucky that you've had that.
I know. That's why I've never
Affliction.
gotten LASIK.
Yeah. Hey, Andrew.
Why
before-
lose that?
These people are
Right.
very lucky to have a blind tattoo artist.
It's all about the touch.
That's amazing. Andrew, how's the album going? Because are you recording now?
Well, I'm going to record mid-April, so 3 weeks
Talking
from
of
now.
permanent records.
Yeah, speaking of permanency,
Yeah.
and my hands are shaking, yeah.
Yeah. So have you knocked off another one? You ready to play something?
I don't have anything new. I've just been tweaking
Okay.
the collection of tunes that will be. But I had some shows up northeast that this past weekend. And my favorite writing colleague, Buddy, who was a writer, he moved to New York and wanted to work on his literary skills, although he is one of my favorite songwriters. When we were younger and going to the open mics, he was captivating. But he's writing short stories in New York now, and every time I go, I try to get a beer with him and send him some songs and see what he thinks. So he did that. I send him every song that I'm considering for the record. And we sat down, and he gave me some great ideas for where I should be, in what direction I should be tweaking some of these tunes that feel like near misses. They might have a chance to be great, but right now they're just kind of good.
That's because of you're talking about the words, not the music.
Yeah,
So
lyrically, I think.
lyrically,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
okay.
like a folky songwriter, so there's only
So have you got one done?
there's only a few choices. Yeah, I mean, I have
let's do it.
finished tunes, sure.
Yeah, come on.
I saw his calendar on his website. Oh my gosh. It's
Andrew's got a lot of gigs.
Oh, it's a whole, yeah.
Right.
It's like almost every day.
So you can play along on your carbon fiber guitar
Unless
that's
it's-
been to Iran. And
Unless it's G minor.
and it has to be a G minor for you.
I have like every harmonica in the world. I just only brought one.
Yeah,
Just fit in the pocket easier.
do you have one of those bandolero things where you stick them all in?
I have a nice little purse. Looks like a little
A
handbag.
merce, a
It looks like a
merce.
handbag. Seems to do the trick.
Okay.
Well, guys, thank you very much for having me here. I feel like I've been talking too much. It was the coffee, by the way.
Not at all.
Wow.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
That
We're gonna
stuff is
put
serious
this-
business.
Can we throw that over there, Johnette? Can you move that?
Yeah.
All right, well, shit. I'm going to have to... Oh, this is in a tuning I didn't think it was in, so I'm going to play something else now. Let's see.
Okay. Well, we can talk about something else while you tune it.
No,
If you want.
No, I'll just do what it's doing.
All right. Roll with it.
Rolling, take one.
Yeah, I couldn't believe your calendar. I was just saying. You had an amazing calendar.
Almost
every day.
I have maybe coming up on a year and some change or something. Started working with an agent who's, I don't have to worry about it anymore, was the
That's
goal.
great.
It's been the goal for a while now. Just not wake up and think about booking. Try to create something.
Maybe I need it. Yeah, I would like
Besides a date on the calendar.
Wow, I want that.
Telling you, dude. It's worth selling out for. Trust me. Just kidding.
Well, it just takes some of that work off your shoulders.
What would you do all day, Johnette, if you didn't have to book your own gigs?
Oh, maybe
Right, son.
ride my bike.
Ride your bike.
There you go.
Push your
in,
bike
walk
across a
out.
parking
that
lot.
bike.
Yeah, walk.
Maybe get a back tattoo.
Come on. Let's get started.
So here's I think this one will probably make the cut, but I guess this one's less lyrical and just it's called Street Fair. It's like it's the song you would write if you were trying to write a commercial for a street fair. And in that way, it's nothing like the rest of the stuff, but it's
Correct Street Festival coming up soon.
brought to you by Going Down to the Street Fair. It's not Chris like this. Well, I'm going down to the street fair. Sunny day in July. Oh, well, come on, baby, we can meet there. My sweet baby now. Oh, well, I'm going down to the street fair. Sunny day in July. Me and my baby gonna meet there. My sweet baby now. Oh, well, they say you meet me down at the street fair. Sing a song, bring along a bottle of wine. Catfish frying in the sunshine, baby, we can eat there. Try me yours, baby, try your mine, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going down to the street fair. Sunny day in July, all my yesterdays in the thin air. Today won't pass me by, not this time, baby. Say meet me down at the street fair. I sing a song and bring along a bottle of wine, baby. I can feel your body burning up like a street flare. When it's getting late, your place or mine. Till I hear the band playing a beat. I got a funny feeling it's right up my street. So come on, baby, take my hand. Let's go dancing all night long at the street fair, babe. Going down to the street fair, sunny day in July. Oh, well, come on, baby, we can meet there. My sweet baby, and I'll tell it to you, baby. Tell it to you just like I said. I'm going down to the street fair, sunny day in July. Me and my baby gonna meet there. My sweet baby, and I'll tell it to you, baby, like I said I was gonna tell it to you. Going down, way down, going down now, way down, baby. Going down, now, now.
All right.
Wow.
Andrew Duhon off the forthcoming album entitled...
Oh, shit.
You can just leave that there, Johnette.
Okay.
It's okay.
That sounds good. We'll call it that.
Just
Yep,
leave it
you
there.
leave it there.
You can
Just leave it there.
Johnette. It's okay. That's not
That's
a
the
bad
full
title.
title. That's a working title.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty all right.
Just leave it there.
It's not bad at all.
Andrew Duhon, that is a great
That's
song.
a great song.
Thanks,
wow.
John.
Don't you think,
I love
Johnette?
your voice, too.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Good.
I'll take it.
Keep that on the album.
I'll
Yeah,
buy
to
that
keep
for
it.
$1.
All right.
I'll take
Okay, keep that one. So how many you got now? One.
One
Well,
down.
that's a start, right?
Yeah.
One's in. Not how many on a record now? You have to make 10.
12. 9.
12. 9.
Yeah.
74 minutes.
Just round up.
Really?
And it
That's
has a
quite-
melody. You know, so much music now doesn't have a melody. So
Oh, you know what it goes with? Street
Poboy.
Fair.
Hey, street fair.
Poboy.
Yeah.
come on down to the
Yeah,
street
yeah.
fair.
Okay, we can all
All
go.
right, here we
go.
go, everybody.
Okay.
Boys.
All right, boys
Already.
and girls. When you hear going down to the, you go, street fair. Here we
Oh, we're in a
go.
harmony, man.
Going down to the street fair. Sunny day in July. Me and my baby. You done that this part. One more time. Going down to the street fair. Oh, you guys are so good.
Oh, thank you so much.
Man, we're hired.
How did I do with the, how did I do with, you know, like
We're
the
here
kid,
every
the kid
Wednesday.
enthusiasm?
That's
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah?
Very
amazing.
nice.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's
Whole
all
new
over.
component.
It's all over for
Audience
another day.
participation.
Thank you so much to Brian Ferry for coming down here and joining us. It's
Brian
been
was
amazing
amazing.
to have
It's
He
one
was
of the
fantastic.
seminal figures of rock and roll to join us here.
He
at-
said he
at
was
Happy Hour.
shy, so he just
He
was
said
a little.
he's very
yeah.
shy and apparently doesn't
Very
want to talk to us. But if you are listening to this before
A shy
Thursday, the
musician.
16th of March, and you're in New Orleans, you can go to the Brian Ferry show at the Sanger Theatre. I believe there's still tickets left, so check that out. If you listen to the show after that, he's on tour all over the country. So if you're somewhere around about
Nothing like
in North
getting a plug
America,
when you don't show up.
no, he's a nice guy, and he is actually one of the most important figures in 20th
course.
Right.
century rock. So we
course.
should give him a plug where we can, don't you think? Just because you didn't show up,
It was nice of him
fucking
to.
asshole, right? But
Sounds
other
like
than
it doesn't
that,
need
you
a
know,
plug, yeah.
that's the
he's
anti
got better
plug.
things to
That was
do.
the
I think
anti-plug.
we're even now.
So Thomas Mattera was here. We didn't even talk about your construction company or anything
that's a good point.
normal, so that's
Yes.
something
Well,
for
because
next
I don't
time.
know. For next time, that would be spectacular.
Okay, we'll talk about your construction company next time. Chris Klein has been here.
Hi.
Be viewer number 60 and go to YouTube and search Chris Klein
Music and art is
Music.
what it's under.
It's what actually is the name of the website?
I think it's, if you just put Chris Klein Music and Google it, it'll take you there.
It'll show you there. And I'll put a link to it on our website. It's neworleans.com as well.
All right. Excellent.
And Johnette Downing, the children's ambassador to the world or something like that. What is it? What is your correct title?
It's okay.
Something like that?
Musical ambassador to children.
Music ambassador to children.
Yeah.
International.
That's very sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
Thank
back
you.
again.
I had
It's
a
great
great
to have
time.
you. This has been a fun show. Thank you very much,
Absolutely. Thank you
everybody.
very much.
That's been Happy Hour for a whole another entire week. Thank you for joining us. Our show is produced by Graham DePonte. Our music director is Christian Under, and our music producer is Jean Valois. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, and Asher Griffith and Grayson Jernigan did all the live feed. If you saw that on Facebook, thanks, guys. If you didn't see it, you can go to our Facebook page, It's New Orleans, and take a look at it. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show, and you can sit around a table for about an hour and stay upright while drinking alcohol or even coffee, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com. You can also check out many other shows we make here. There's hundreds of hours of happy hour to look at, as well as shows like Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, True to the Game with the hilarious Chris True, Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss, and The Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canata, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and Milo's Music Parlor, that's right, with Kim Vu. The podcast about death is called Death the Podcast, with psychologist Dr. Arian Alfont, and there's also Questions from the Waiting Room with psychiatrist Nick Pajak, and there's also more. You can find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well, where all of it is called It's New Orleans. You can find us all over the place. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. Those photos are taken today by Alison Moon. If you listen to this show on your favorite podcast app, thank you for listening to us, and thanks for subscribing to us. Do one thing. If you've got a minute, take a moment to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans, which is right across from the European Wax Center. Nice. So come on down here anytime. They have a 3-hour happy hour here from 3 to 6 every day and brunch on the weekends. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, everybody around the table here at Wayfare, and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, I'm Grant Morris. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Your home is important. That's why Geico helps make it easy to save on condo insurance. Because home is more than just a place. Home is where you took minimalism too far because there's only one chair in your entire condo and your only entertainment is one card. Not even a deck of cards, but a single card. And all your guests have to share one plate and one fork, but you're convinced that less stuff means more freedom. The Geico Insurance Agency could help protect the overly minimalist broom closet you call home. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on condo insurance.